All right. Hello, everybody. We are back for another market open. Let me tweet this out into the world. Let people know that I'm live and that we've got some things to talk about because the market is going to open. Ardashir, you're the first one here. What's up? What's up, man? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Lots to talk about today. Obviously, the biggest thing we have to talk about is the market open. Uriel, Seth Roth, Richard, Lars, what's up? What's up? Damn, we got 27 people in like a minute. That's awesome. Thank you all for being here so much. It means the absolute world to me. Kanky, Paul, David, Quarantine Quartet, Dan. Here we go, everybody. We got Meta earnings today. We're going to talk about Google today. We're going to talk about Microsoft. We're going to talk about I actually want to see how the market reacts to it. A reminder that making money is hard. Oh, yeah. A reminder that making money is indeed hard. So when the market opens in about 4 minutes, Alfred, good morning. Thank you for being here. Sebastian, what's up? We are going to see how the market reacts to Microsoft and Google. Now, obviously, we saw them pre-market or after hours yesterday sell off a bit. Both were down about 5%. Google ad revenues obviously didn't perform to expectations. Microsoft Cloud was okay, but the rest of the business also was not phenomenal in terms of performing. So in this inflationary interest rate environment, if your balance sheets and your earnings are not at phenomenal levels, even if they're at basic levels, they're not going to be rewarded by the market. Now, I'm interested to see if the market's baking this in. As you can see, it's down 7%, Google pre-market. I'm interested to see if the market's baking this in and the market's just going to rally on top of it, or the market's actually concerned based on these earnings. I don't think these earnings were big enough to crash the market. We saw the S&P rally to about 381 yesterday from lows of 350 and from lows of 370 the day before or the week before. So the market's rallying. It's just these individual stocks. You can see Microsoft down 7% as well at 230. Snapchat actually rallied up yesterday, about 15% as the market rallied up. But Meta trended downwards down to 130 after Google's earnings came out because people think that advertising is slowing down and Meta is going to be affected by it pretty dramatically. So we're going to see. Joel, what's up? Geis, what's up? I guess I'm waiting on Tesla at 180. I guess so. We are going to see. Did you see the Rachi post that Palantir got awarded some of the NHS? Let me see. Did Palantir get awarded some of a contract? Let's see. Did Palantir, obviously the NHS contract is a big contract for Palantir. If they got rewarded some of it, that would be awesome. Well, one thing is, so I'll look into that. But Raymond James and Associates has initiated a position in Palantir. Oh no, sorry, they've increased their position. So they've increased their position by about 40%. They have 605,000 shares now. So that's a little bit of an increase. Yeah, I didn't see the NHS posts. Rachel, if you could link me the exact one, let me know. I'll see it. But I didn't see the exact one. SK, what's up? Javier, what's up? Thank you all for being here. How are you on Palantir portfolio? Any additions lately? I haven't been buying in the 8s at all. I haven't been buying a lot of stocks, to be honest. I've just been waiting. So I kind of want to see where this market's going before I just keep buying. Good morning. Hope your day is fantastic no matter the market. I agree. DRK. Hope your day is good as well. Cameron, good morning. Ahad, good morning. Okay. Dex, what's up? So we have what? We have 40 seconds until the market opens. For those who are new to this channel, we ring the bell when the market opens. For those who are not, you can get ready for the bell. Kathy Wood, we were talking about this last night on Late Night Stock Talks. Kathy has sold 400,000 shares of UiPath. Now, when she sells these bulk 200,000-300,000 share positions, it's almost as if she's getting ready to liquidate the stock. UiPath is one of the only stocks in all 6 of the ARK ETFs. So maybe she's just selling it to get some extra liquidity in one of the ETFs. I think that's actually what's going on. But if she gets rid of the whole position, that would be That would follow suit with Palantir. That would follow suit with Spotify. I mean, that would follow suit with some of the other stocks that she's had a thesis for and then gone back on when it comes to that thesis. So I guess it is what it is. All right, here we go. It's 9:30 a.m., October 26th. My birthday is tomorrow, October 27th. I'll turn 25 years old. So this is my last day of being 24 years old. And on this day at 9:30 a.m., the stock market in the United States of America is now open. Wake your ass up. The stock market is open. Let's take a look at what's going on. We've got Meta dropping 4.76% to 130s, flirting with below 130 in the 129. Google and 96. There we go. Down 8%. It was a 103 yesterday. It's down. Microsoft 230. It is down about 8% as well. Google and Microsoft both falling a good 8% from yesterday. Snapchat still at 928. If you bought in the sevens, then you're up 15%. So congratulations on that. I felt like I should have done that, but I didn't do that because I was a little bit scared. But nice 15% gain on Snapchat, kind of holding steady. S&P at 381, not a major fall off. Apple at 150, breaking from the 140s as of yesterday. I think it was at like 153 yesterday, 152. So it's staying strong. Tesla did a nice bounce up from 198 last night or yesterday. So now it's up at 219. Not bad. Palantir 843, holding decently strong. NASDAQ falling below 11,000 at 10,956. So NASDAQ is losing a little bit of momentum. DNA at 2.69. Netflix was $7 away yesterday from being a $300 stock. It is now down back to 288. I actually watched the earnings call with Reed Hastings and I listened to what they said, and they were really optimistic for the future. I still am not a Netflix shareholder because I just don't believe in the content, but at least, you know, the management feels like the company has a good place going forward. ARK at 37, Tattoo Chef 42, Roku 53, Zoom 82. Not a crazy bloodbath today in the morning, but definitely not a green market, I would say. October birthday gang. Yes. Good morning, guys. Erwin, what's up, man? Thank you for being here, Erwin. Thank you for being here. Enphase. Oh, yeah. Enphase earnings. Oh, man. So Vitaly's a big Enphase shareholder. He was on my channel. Enphase has killed earnings every single time for literally like the past 3 years. As you can see, this was a 65-cent stock back in 2017. If I had just known about Enphase in 2017, I had a lot of 65 cents lying around. And it is balloon is something big. Now, granted, I think as much as they're growing, the problem is they are expensive at 288. They were expensive at 250. They were expensive at 190. So the market will give them and reward them even with their growth because they have to if they're growing as phenomenally as they are. But it's also a point where it's like it gets expensive, you know, and it gets to the point where it's like you probably should be skeptical of buying something at close to all-time highs. So not going to pick up any Enphase yet, but it's a phenomenal runner. SoFi at 567. I'll be live streaming earnings for SoFi, either with one of the guys from the podcast. His name is Riley. Probably me and him will do it together in the morning. They are going to be doing it pre-market, I believe. So we will talk about earnings. I think it's November 2nd or something. So next week. When are you going to know the podcast with Tom Nash? You have done only 2 podcasts in the last 30 days. Yes. So me and Tom are actually doing a podcast tonight, 4 p.m. On the Can You Learn to Speak My Guy channel. So if you haven't subscribed to that, check it out. And we have a special announcement coming today. So it'll hopefully be a good announcement for those. All right, let's go into CNBC. Let's see what we've got talking about. Meta's earnings are today. That's the big news. And I'm really interested to see how Meta ultimately takes it up. Here we go. Let's hear a little bit about Microsoft at least and what's going on with them. Bro, go enjoy Diwali. Get off YouTube. Diwali's over. It was yesterday, or it was 2 days ago. Gotta keep grinding.
How much should we be concerned? Not concerned? What's your headline here?
I mean, I think we've all been concerned for a while, and I don't think that's going to change. You know, ad sales are just in for a rough ride right now. The interesting thing is, it was some of these really big, lucrative ad deals. in the crypto space, in the mortgage space, that are really down because people just aren't getting mortgages right now. And so some of it's that, but you look at the YouTube business, the reality is that TikTok is hurting YouTube, right? And through the holidays, when you have people who are finding their gift recommendations through TikTok instead of YouTube, that means fewer ad dollars because fewer eyeballs. So, will Alphabet be fine? Yes. Is this going to go away, this advertising problem? Not in the short term.
So what do you think is a fair value for Alphabet shares right now? We're looking at 98.26.
The PE ratio isn't unreasonable compared to a lot of their peers in big tech. And it's pretty close to a 52, week low. But when you look back over the past few years, it's gone up a lot. So I don't think Apple's at a bad price. I think it's probably a hold, but I don't think it's quite on sale yet. And I certainly don't think it's going to go to zero.
Okay, let's flip around and talk about Microsoft. Really a great indicator of the B2B business, the enterprise world. The idea that the cloud business is slowing from 40% to 35%, how concerned does that make you?
I mean, everything is slowing for Microsoft. Nothing is coming up Microsoft right now. PC sales, they are down bad, and that hurts Microsoft, right? Even their sort of nascent ad sales business with things like LinkedIn, that's about job openings, and there's not a lot of people hiring right now. And then to your point, the cloud business, Azure, it's really seeing a slowdown, and it's, signaling that they think there's going to be even more. So I don't think that Microsoft is in for, a good rest of the year, and potentially not a good year next year either.
So you look at that stock price now down at about 234. What do you think fair value for that company is?
Yeah, I mean, again, you don't have an unreasonable PE ratio compared to peers like Salesforce, which is nice. But the reality is, I don't know if the PC business is going to bounce back, right? These are long-term macro trends that, they're just sort of catching the brunt of.
If I gave you $10,000 right now and told you you had to buy tech, what would you buy?
Well, thank you for the $10,000. I think I would really look at potential take private targets, like the Pelotons and Reels of the world. I think, if this Friday happens,
that seems like a very risky problem.
Did she just say Peloton, fam? Okay, that just inspired me. Let's do a quick little game while we end out this video. If you had to buy the riskiest stock you could buy that you think has the most upside, what would it be? And don't say Tesla or something. Like, take it like a really risky stock that you think could have the most upside. Put it in the chat.
Proposition to actually buy a company based on the premise that it might go private. I mean, some people think it might go private. Some people think it might go the opposite direction.
I think you buy for two things. I think you find a novel company that's doing something interesting, that you think there's some value there, but they're sort of losing their way in the public markets. And then, I'm a risk investor, I'm a venture capital investor. You say, hey, look, this might be a company that, has that exit bump soon. We saw that with Poshmark, and that's a bet that's paid off big for people.
So Peloton, it's $7.42. You like it?
I don't love it, but I don't think it's going to go out of business. And, they've put a stake in the ground that if they can't figure it out, early next year, they're going to look pretty aggressively at sales. And, I don't think it's out of line to say that somebody like an Apple or Samsung could look at that business and see it as a great complement to the fitness businesses.
As an acquisition target at $7, if Apple buys it for like $12, I mean, she has kind of a point. Okay, you guys, someone said Audia. Shout out to you who said Audia. Link in the description. Please sign up. That's the only thing I want for my birthday, guys, is if you sign up, give me some feedback on it. Okay, we got Weed Stocks, Rocket Lab, Audia again, DNA, Lemonade, Neo. Interesting. I actually think Neo is not a horrible answer. I know the China stuff is hard, but Neo is not a horrible answer. Neo's not a horrible answer. Peloton is not a tech company. Yeah, it's not. She's bugging on that answer, bro. She's bugging. Babylon, Ouija. Okay. Should we watch the Chicken Genius video or no? How long is it? If it's like 2 minutes, we can watch it. Should we watch it? He's talking about Tesla, so it's relevant, right? How long is it? It's a 2-minute video. We can watch a 2-minute video, right? Okay. We're going to watch it. We're going to see. Oh, the market is going up. The market is, outside of Google and Microsoft, the market is doing decently. Okay. Let's hear what the chicken has to say on Tesla. Let's hear what he has to say.
I gave a warning on Tesla stock. I expected two things: the stock price to drop and many reaction videos. I knew it. I didn't watch and I didn't give a crap. You see, trying to be objective on a cult stock is like telling parents that their child is spoiled. So since Tesla China has dropped their price, and you must be wondering why. Is the demand too much? Look, listen to the Chinese guy living in Asia. And the thing is, I also hated the last earnings call. Elon was clearly trying to pump the stock from valuations, the stock of like 4 trillion to stock buybacks. Why the sudden change? I know I sound like Tesla Q, but I'll start adding below 180 to 140, portfolio sizing around 20 to 30%, no more than 90%, like previously. So to me, there's too much risk from the stuff I said from the last video to geopolitics and the opinions I can't express online. I'm serious, or I'll get in trouble. I'm comfortable with a much smaller allocation, and I hope with that smaller allocation, it will 10x with FSD and robots. Look, listen to this sage advice.
And then number 3, recognize and be cognizant of the fact that whatever one thing you're seeing that you think you've got some edge or some advantage on because no one else is seeing it, there's 99 other things that you're not seeing. I see a lot of thesis. Here's my reason for buying the stock that excludes understanding the financials, understanding the valuation metrics, and also excludes the whole litany of things and all the diligence that goes into thinking about all the other angles you might be missing.
I see the world through multiple lenses, and that has kept me in the game longer and outperforming most people. So do yourself a favor, put all biasness away in all areas of life and challenge the status quo every day. 对不起，让你久等了。
不会。走吧，我们去约会吧。
好，走了。
Bro, I'm just gonna be honest. Is it me, or when he incorporates his girlfriend into the videos, it's the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life, bro? Like, tell me if that's just me, or if people actually agree with that. Like, his girl came to put on his blazer, obviously for 2 seconds to add some sex appeal to the video or something. And it's fucking weird, bro. Like, I get that you could have your own personality. If I had a girlfriend, yeah, I'd put her in some videos, but like it wouldn't be the way he's doing it. Like, it's just weird, bro. It's like, it's just I don't get it, bro. I'm not even trying to hate on the dude. It's just like, what are you trying to show off? That you got some hot girlfriend and that you are rich? I don't know, man. It's a little weird, bro. It's especially for your audience. Like the YouTube finance, we don't give a fuck about some hot girl. Like, we care about analysis and, like, you know, your trades and how you think about the macro. It's like, I never saw Meet Kevin like shoving his wife down people's like videos. Like, no, it's about analysis and shit. That it's weird, bro. It's weird. Anyway, regardless of what that is, I mean, his argument is Tesla to 140, right? 420 pre-split. So that's what we're gonna see if he gets it down there. Let's actually look at Tesla right now. Tesla, you know, it had a bad day yesterday, and then it just bounced back like a monster. It's like you could not keep it down back to the bottoms. And so, you know, at 198, I know a lot of people were like, fuck it, we're buying this stock. We're not letting it letting it go. I literally wasn't even at my computer, so I couldn't even like think of buying it. But it bounced back to 225, and it's been pretty stable there. Earnings for Tesla also weren't that bad. I think this argument about Elon trying to pump Tesla, I've heard this before. Look, I think Elon is strategic and smart with what he does. I honestly don't think he was trying to pump it to the point where he would, you know, make people all excited. I think he was talking about the trajectory of the company, right? You can't deny that a guy who said this would happen when it comes to Tesla, and it actually happened, now saying, hey, I think we have a path to actually be one of the biggest companies in the world. Like, you have to take that seriously. And is it some grandeur to him saying it? Sure. But he's also on a shareholder call where I think he's trying to be logical and rational and a little bit exuberant to because that makes him who he is. I don't think it's not like he's saying we're going to be $100 trillion company, right? Like, I don't think it was that. I think it was more just based on the trajectory. There's a lot of areas where we can grow. And that's what we're going to be doing. Now, be real. You talk about girls on your stream. I agree. I talk about, but I talk about girls on my stream at late night stock talks when it's not a market open. And I talk about girls just in terms of my personal experience. I don't shove down a girl as I'm doing an analysis for a stock to try to add to the video. I don't know, man. It's just a little weird. It's just like, why are you doing? To me, it doesn't have to be weird. It's cringe. Like, he could make it less. Like, if he asked her about Tesla and she was giving her thoughts about Tesla, that's awesome. That's great. But if he's showing her for 2 seconds as a cameo to make it seem like he's cool because he has a hot girlfriend, I don't know. It's a little weird. That's all. It's a little weird. Okay, let's hear about some of the Kanye issues right now. He got dropped by Adidas. Let's see what's being talked about there as well. Okay. Here we go.
Start, Eric. I really don't, because it's, you've done crisis management. A lot of times things happen that seem, that accidental, or I don't know. I don't know what prompts things to happen. How do you even characterize what you've witnessed over the past month? Do we attribute it really to some type of, I don't know, something that maybe a psychiatrist needs to weigh in on, or what?
Well, it depends on who the client is. Okay, if you are one of these large companies, these companies are not.
Adidas, by the way, makes about 1.3 billion from Yeezy. They're dropping him. They're going to lose $250 million. They were in Germany, and some of the former founders of Adidas back in the 1930s were Nazis. So, like, this is like a very they kind of had to make this play, and it's interesting to see a crisis management for a corporation this big doing this with a celebrity.
Set up to manage crises. They are set up to make and sell stuff. And you cannot imagine the extent to which something like this disrupts management from the top to the bottom. They simply are not in a position to sword fight the way they might be in a marketing or a lobbying campaign. The only thing they can do, especially if you're dealing with a German company, is to get rid of the person immediately. And when talking about Kanye, one of the reasons why a smarter crisis manager will get out of the celebrity business if he or she is sane is because you can't advise people like this, whether they're mentally ill or not. What their life experience has taught them is they are right. And why would they listen to someone who will earn in a lifetime what they made yesterday? So you really cannot advise someone like this. And I wouldn't go so fast with just attributing it to mental illness. I mean, you're not dealing with an errant statement. You are dealing with a guy who has expressed an entire portfolio of thought, the whole Megillah, you might call it, about the Jewish people. And this is not something you can explain away by saying, oops. There's plenty of people who suffer mental illness that don't lay out an entire system of.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's an argument. That is an absolute argument. Let me go back into Webull, but that is an argument. I just wanted to see a little bit of what they were talking about with Kanye. At the end of the day, if a brand does not vibe with your message, as much as it might be virtue signaling, as much as it might be just crisis management, they are going to do what they need to do to get things done. And that's kind of how these things go. All right, what do we got? We have Tesla still at 227. The market's actually doing pretty nice. Like, the market's kind of ripping. Look at Palantir, 876. Goodness. Market is up. Meta is still at 132. See, this happened yesterday. Google went up to 104, and then the market just crashed. And or at least Google crashed. Which leads me, so this is the weird thing, right? Palantir's at 876. Bunch of other stocks are doing great. Tesla's at 227. S&P probably at what? 380, 82. But Meta has earnings today, and if Meta earnings are bad and it doesn't affect the market, meaning the market still goes up or the market stays stable, but Meta is able to, Meta might go down. I think we're in a very weird market at that point, because it's like the macro is kind of thinking it's okay, let's move on, everything's okay. But on individual stocks that make up a huge percentage of the market, it hurts. Spotify back down to 88. Spotify had earnings yesterday. Earnings I thought were actually really decent. I think they rallied to like 93, 94 after hours, or 98. Look at this. But they went right back down, I guess, because the market didn't like that. So the worst part about the earnings was their gross margins are going down. But they just kept telling investors, you have to give us time. It's a long-term strategy. They grew their MAU by like 22 million people. But yeah, individual stocks are getting it. It's so interesting. Spotify, Google, Microsoft, all of them are down. Meta might be down today, but the S&P is not down, or the S&P is barely down. The S&P is holding on strong. So like tech is not taking down the market. I think we get Apple tomorrow. So we're going to see that. Big dog stocks crashing is good for the overall market. Well, we're going to see if it takes the market down with it as well. Palantir going up with the event coming tomorrow. Yeah, the event coming tomorrow is going to be really exciting. It's going to be really interesting. Amit, please do a live coverage for FoundryCon with Sachin. So the problem with live covering FoundryCon is I think it's like 2-3 hours. And I'm not sure if it's worth live streaming versus just watching the live stream on their YouTube channel and making content afterwards. But I will see. I'll decide. I will decide. Palantir breaking 865. Yeah, man. Palantir's it's pulling up, but I just don't trust a lot of Palantir's moves because this market just it hurts. Like it'll come right back down. So we'll see. I mean, if it can sustain itself, it's not the worst thing in the world. It'd be nice to see it get to a decent level. But we will see. End phase at 290 pushing along. Yeah, like it's a very interesting scenario. Look at this. Netflix right back to 293, $7 away. So the market is in a little bit more of a rally mode, but we've got individual stocks that are not game to rally as hard as they need to. You guys said Gabe's awfully quiet. Yeah, Gabe's puts are but I think he bought calls as well to hedge his puts, if I know correctly. I'll probably talk to him today. I think we have our Patreon call tonight because he's part of my Patreon as well. And we'll talk about it and we'll see. All right, let's look at this one. Inflation remaining a concern ahead of midterm elections. I'm going to be live streaming midterms on November 4th. So we'll all get to be together and see who's going to govern our country for the next couple of years. Let's see this.
I think there's a lot of issues, but inflation is probably front and center. I don't know whether Democrats came to the party late to acknowledge that and focused on other things or not. What's your view on that? That's what seems to be on voters' minds when they're polled.
So you're right. It is on voters' minds. I think we should be talking more about the economy. We should have acknowledged inflation earlier, and then we should make a choice. Here's the choice. Democrats, we want to bring manufacturing back. We want to bring supply chains back. We want to put money in the pockets of working class. What are the Republicans running on? Objectively, they're saying, let's extend the Trump tax cuts.
Right.
How did that work out in Britain? Wasn't that what Liz Truss tried? She almost bankrupted the British economy. How can they say they want to fight inflation when they're literally running on what Liz Truss just tried to do in Britain?
We've had this discussion a lot recently about whether the tax cuts were beneficial or not. And, from my point of view, I think that the reason that the deficit is down so much is because of the rip-roaring receipts that the federal government has taken in as we've recovered from the pandemic. And we were doing pretty well before the pandemic hit. Wages were growing, income was growing. I want to get back to talking about something because we had a discussion earlier today with Halima Croft, who was at the Davos in the Desert meeting with the Saudis and other members. Obviously, you have said we should, I guess, penalize the Saudis for not cooperating with us on trying to keep oil prices down. And I understand your rationale, but listening to her, I'm not convinced they're doing it to try and hurt us. I think they're doing it in large part because of their own domestic concerns. And if we were to stop giving them help as a counter to Iran and their intentions in the Middle East, I think it could have unintended consequences. Do you think about those things, Ro?
I do. First of all, I don't care what their motives are. I care what the impact they have on Americans. My job is to help make sure Americans are strong and aren't paying a lot at the pump. And I know what we give them. I mean, we give them more military technology than almost any other ally. We have so many joint defense arrangements. We give them 7.
Okay. Screw politics. It's boring. November 4th is going to be fun because I'm not going to get political. I will be apolitical the whole night, but we'll still talk about politics. But last thing before I go, we have some breaking news here. Palantir. They've just announced a new platform. Here we go. Palantir CEO Alex Karp and Trafigura CEO. Now, if you don't know Trafigura, this is the company that Palantir created a climate change relationship with, like a platform to decrease data emissions, or they were collaborating like back in May on how to decrease carbon emissions from the environment. Palantir CEO Alex Karp and Trafigura CEO Jeremy Weir at the start of LME Week launched Agora, a big data platform that allows organizations to gain visibility into emissions across their supply chains. Here we go. Palantir Agora. Let me share this real quick. This is super interesting. Introducing Agora by Palantir, a secure, independent platform which integrates commodity supply chain emissions data from primary and secondary sources. I think this is new. I don't, am I wrong? Has this already existed or no? I don't think it's existed because they said introduced. Yeah, no, I think this is a new thing. They've been doing so much news, to be honest. I'm kind of like, well, no, I know I've seen these pictures before, so I feel like I've covered. I remember they did a video with Trafigura where they were talking about this. I just don't know if they officially announced a name for the platform. You know, they have like Foundry, Gotham, all this stuff. Agora. Interesting. So I'll probably do a deep dive into this a little bit. Never heard of Agora. Is it based on? Yeah, it is based on Foundry. It's like a version of Foundry for climate change in particular. So I'll do a video on this and I'll do a deep dive, but that is some news that came out just like a couple minutes ago. It's like Skywise for carbon chain emissions within the supply chain. Yes. So it's a bit different. Who are you voting for? Haha, good question. I'm not going to answer that question. I'm not getting into that at all. I will cover what's going on in the political world, but I will not give my opinion. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. 200 people here. Meta earnings today. Podcast with Tom at 4 p.m. Can you learn to speak, my guy? You can YouTube it, and we'll be there. Have a special announcement. And I'll cover the Palantir stuff coming up. FoundryCon coming tomorrow. Big stuff. Markets are ripping. It's awesome. Let's see what Meta does to the market. Google and Microsoft not taking the market down, which is pretty cool for the market to sustain itself. And we'll see how things keep going. So thank you, everybody, so much. I appreciate you all being here. It means the world to me. I will be doing a late night stream tonight for my birthday, by the way. So probably starting at like 10:30-ish, 11-ish, all the way until 12. Just going to be a fun stream talking about life. I'm going to be turning 25. So that's it. Thank you, everybody, so much. I will see you later today. Bye-bye.